All right. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone that rule well. All right. Peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren out there pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the scattered Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. No matter what you look like, no matter where you are, this is not a so-called black thing. All right. And if you're continuously watching these videos, calling upon the names of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and your spirit is knit with this gospel and with this truth, then you are more than likely of the 12 tribes of Israel and, Lord willing, part of the elect. All right. I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. I'm the brother Dama Agabar, out here with another lesson, Lord willing, to edify and to feed the lambs and the sheep of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. And like we do week in and week out, we come out here and prophesy the gospel of the kingdom to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true 12 tribes of Israel, all right? And, hey, it's another live lesson, another day out here on the highways and the byways. Lord willing, this to be edifying. Lord willing, this to be, edifying and sealing unto the elect, all right? And like we say each week, man, hey, it's another week, another day closer to our salvation drawing nigh. Another day that prophecy is literally jumping off of the pages, and another day closer to the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, through the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, all right? And it's through, the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that we're able to stand, boldly upon our feet, that we're able to stand, in this truth, in this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and how we're out here, prophesying and preaching, and are able to go into the Holy Scriptures prophetically with 100% truth, starting with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, all right? And hey, like I said, it's another day closer to our salvation, another day that, we can come out here and preach this glorious gospel, because we know the days are coming to where, hey, pretty soon what we're out here doing is going to be made illegal, man. All right, Esau is behind the scenes setting up all type of unrighteous decrees. He's setting up all type of legislation in ways to where, us coming out here and prophesying and preaching is going to be outlawed pretty soon. All right, it's going to be punishable by being locked up, serving jail time, being fined, and eventually even being put to death. So as we are given this grace period and we're given the green light to do so, we're going to come out here on these highways and these byways week in and week out, and to prophesy, and preach this gospel, all right? And hey, man, we got to continue to do it while we can, because the days are short. Esau's getting ready to come down with that great wrath, and it's only going to be so long that we're going to be able to come out here and to do this. So the words of advice to all you sincere brothers and sisters out there: soak up this knowledge as much as you can, man. Take it seriously. Make sure that you're taking notes. Make sure that you're really dialed into this truth, because the day is going to come to where it's not going to be easily accessible as just turning on your phone and going on YouTube and clicking on the elders and the apostles and particular brothers' pages to get access into this truth. It's going to have to be embedded inside of you, man. All right? So don't put off from day to day, man. Don't procrastinate. Don't take this truth and the prophets being out here on the week daily, dropping this word, man. Take advantage, man. Truly soak it in. Truly immerse yourself within this word, because, hey, this is the most precious commodity on this planet Earth, is this gospel and this truth being preached, man. And Lord willing, you have the spirit of faith, the gift of faith from the Most High to receive it and digest it and take it fully in, man. And because right now you see a lot of bugged out spirits, a lot of bugged out things happening with a lot of these Israelite camps out here, man. They are totally going off the deep end, man. A lot of these guys, through the spirit of the Most High, a lot of them are being exposed. A lot of these guys are being cornered for their breakdowns, for their false doctrines. You're seeing a lot of their behavior is looking sellout-like. A lot of these guys have taken the bag. A lot of these guys are just operating in a way that was that's outside of what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has set up. All right, and the Lord is making it plainly, obvious if you have the eyes to see, if you're truly dialed in the spirit, man. And now is the time for you to sincerely, man, consider who you are learning from and who you are truly, receiving this gospel from. Because you got a lot of false prophets, you got a lot of bug outs, you got a lot of sellouts, you got a lot of Judas goats, man. You got a lot of these Israelite groups, man. A lot of them have taken the bag, man. A lot of them have sold out. A lot of them are twisting and tweaking and changing the doctrine, every damn time. Like every other month, man. You see the IUIC with their Mark of the Beast breakdown. That done changed about 5, 6, 7, 8 times. You see the ISUPK out there marching and being this militant, goddamn the new Black Panther group. You got, this whole Sakari situation with their whacked, bugged out, demonic leadership. And a lot of these other Israelite groups too, man. A lot of them are being exposed, man. Ultimately because they're corrupting the truth of this gospel and they're turning it into their own thing, man. They're using it and they're climbing up some other way. They're coming out with these wayward breakdowns. A lot of these guys are using this ministry and this truth basically to uplift themselves, man. And they're going far left from the purity of this truth, man. And the Lord is making that very obvious and very plain to see, man. That's why you got to be in the spirit. That's why we're constantly telling you, Jakes, man, hey, stick with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. You cannot go wrong, all right? The elders and the apostles' doctrines ain't changing up, ain't switching up every other day like the wind, man. All right? The breakdowns and the truth that they bring has been consistent, man. Because why? Because it's ultimately the truth. The truth doesn't need to change. The truth doesn't have to be tweaked. The truth is not going to constantly switch up and change like the moon, man. But you see a lot of these other Israelite groups doing that, man. So you got to be very weary and very dialed in, especially in these times right now, man. Because a lot of these guys are going way off, man. And you want to make sure that you're following under the right teachers and the true prophets, so that, hey, when these things come to pass, these prophecies, especially the mark of the beast, you're not going to be confused. You're not going to be all over the place. You're not going to, you're going to be built upon that solid foundation and to know exactly what it is. And it is the micro C hip. Don't get caught up in believing that it's embargoes or sleeping with white women or sin in all of its form. Or the image of white Jesus, man, because it is none of those things, man. It's the micro C hip, man, the implantable micro C hip. Stick with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, man. And like I said, you better be careful and you better tread lightly upon following all these different Israelite groups, because it's only going to lead to you being confused, man. All right, because a lot of these guys, man, they're using this doctrine to fulfill their own bellies, man. A lot of these guys are looking to become YouTube celebrities, celebrity prophets, man. A lot of these guys, these guys are selling you mixtapes, doing, got a record deals going on, merchandise to sell, selling you prayers, selling you fringes, selling you breakdowns, turning this truth into some worldly, some worldly Christian bullshit, man. And if you're not careful, you can be led astray, man. You could be led to thinking that this truth is can be linked with this world, man. And you got a lot of these Israelite groups guilty of that, and it's being made manifest, man. So you got to make sure that you on point, and you got to pay attention to who you listening to, because a lot of these guys out here are deceiving you, man. So just want to get into that. I got a few precepts lined up, but then we'll just see where things are going, man. So like I said, pay attention to what Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is doing, all right? Because he's cornering a lot of these Israelite leaders, man. They're being questioned, they're being cornered, and ultimately they're being exposed, man, by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right? Like I said, hey, this thing is about the truth. It ain't about who you like or the gimmicks, all of the glamour, the marching, the matching garments, the purple and the gold. Who's making all of this money? They got merchandise to sell. They're linking this truth and making it be this world-friendly, acceptable PC thing. And it's not about that at all, man. All right? And like I said, these guys are making that shit look real accepting, making it seem like it is really the truth, but it's not. All right? And the Lord is exposing it all, man. So you just got to make sure that, hey, you're in the right spirit and you're really dialed in and you're really getting built upon a solid foundation, because, hey, man, the Lord is about to let this devil come down with that great wrath, man. And this whole world and this system as we know it, the Lord is about to allow it to just go completely out of control. And if you're not built upon the solid foundation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, hey, you're going to be led astray. You're going to be confused. All right, you're going to end up making the wrong decision and the wrong choices, and you're going to end up being taken and destroyed at the end of the day. All right, so let me get to some of these precepts I got, and Lord willing, you can be edified. All right. So the first one I got, it's kind of windy over here. All right, let me get this Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 12. It says, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart or their mind, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will not do good, neither will he do evil. All right, and that's what you see. That's why these guys are moving the way that they're doing, teaching the things that they're teaching, making this truth be this world-friendly, acceptable PC thing, man. Because they're ultimately, you know, not teaching this truth in the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because if they were, they wouldn't be making this doctrine to be so worldly. They wouldn't be over here, showing themselves doing rap battles and turning the Passover into some festive, jovial, a situation, man. Passover is a very serious and very solemn assembly, but these guys are turning it into fashion shows. They're turning it into goddamn rap fest, rap battles. You know, they're over there boogie-woogieing and dancing all on the stage. They're over there pimping out men and women into marriages. You know what I mean? Doing all type of folly. Having the Passover at a goddamn strip club, man. See, it's a lot of folly and a lot of wickedness going on amongst Israel, man. And guess what? Hey, the Lord is searching Jerusalem with candles, man. He's really showing you the true mind frame of a lot of these other Israelite groups. And it's not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. It's a very worldly, a very vain, and it's something that's not in line with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's of this world, man. You see, all these Israelite groups are guilty of that. All these 501c3 camps, man. Like I said, the Passover is nothing but a goddamn party, man. Music. You know, they go to these big palatial venues, $500 for this. They're in there marching and shit, doing all this bullshit. You got the women in there swooning all over the other members, coming in riding on horses, man. It's really all about elevating and exalting themselves, man. They're not keeping the Passover in the seriousness and the spirit that when Yahweh Shai kept it was in. You know, it turned into what? This world-friendly PC thing, man. Which is what? To draw in the simple, to draw in these jakes, to really make them feel like coming and being an Israelite is going to be a party all the goddamn time. That you ain't got to suffer, that you ain't got to take it serious, that you ain't got to be serious, that you ain't got to be on point, man. And it's really, it's really all made up in the spirit of them not fearing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And that's why they moved the way that they moved during the Passover, man. It's all of this just bullshit, man. That's why you see these niggas talking about buying land and building houses and growing crops and corn. Nigga, this place is about to be ultimately, utterly destroyed, man. The Lord said that this is not our rest. So why the hell would you promote to Jake to build here, man? When everything, all the signs are showing you that America is going right down the shithole, man. This economy is getting ready to tank. America is being isolated. All of his allies is turning his back on this place. You see the mind frame and the spirit of these people are in, man. Nothing but folly, wickedness, debauchery, idol worship. You know what I mean? Adultery, murder, drug abuse, drug use. All this signs are showing you that this system is getting ready to be taken out. But these niggas is telling you we got to build, man. Getting Lear jets. You know, buying some land. Why the hell are you going to buy land in the condemned land, man? That's going to be completely, utterly eviscerated by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. You see, these guys are not leading you jakes down the right path, man. They leading you down a path to your own destruction, your own self-gratification, you know, and all this fucking wickedness, man. Hey, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is showing it, man. That's why he's searching Jerusalem, like I'm reading, man. All right, let me look up some words in that scripture so you can get some understanding, man. All right. All right. Zephaniah 1 and 12, and it says the Lord is searching Jerusalem with candles. Yeah, meaning like the Lord is searching everybody's true intent that are really in this truth. And you're seeing, hey, the light is shining on the reprobateness and the worldliness of a lot of these other Israelite camps, man, that they done sold out, man. You got the IUIC is literally breaking down what the mark of the beast is intentionally wrong, man. And they're going to lead a lot of you niggas into going and taking that mark of the beast. Now, all of a sudden, it was small nations, rich nations, poor nations. It got nothing to do with any individuals, but now it got something to do with you having a digital identification. And now, all of a sudden, it's dealing with each individual. But it ain't the micro C hip. You see? Scriptures tell you a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, man. And you got the ISUPK, you ask them what the mark of the beast is, it's sleeping with white women. Or whatever other bullshit that they'll tell you that it is, man. You know, which, you know, if it was sleeping with white women, I'm through. I put it that way, I'm through. Because I done had a fair share of snow bunnies in my lifetime. And if that's the mark of the beast, hey, guess what? I'm through. King David would be through. A lot of brothers would be through in this truth. You see? But that's just all bullshit. And that's not ultimately the truth, man. So like I said, hey, the Lord is shining this light on a lot of these other Israelite groups, man, and the Lord is he's exposing them. All right, so let's look at something real fast. Oh, look at this. The word for search. Oh, is this search? Let me see. Salakia. Yeah, the word for search, right, in the Hebrew. The word search is hapas, right? Hapas, it says to be searched out, be exposed, to search through, search for. It says what else? It says something that is hidden. You see? It says to disguise self, hide, to search out for. And that's what the Lord is doing ultimately, man. And the Lord is searching these guys out, and they're all on video, all on the internet, and the Lord is exposing what these guys' true intentions and how they're truly operating in the spirit, man. And it's completely off, man. Like I said, it's completely worldly, it's devilish, it's hypocritical, you know? And it says, let's look at this word for candles. Let's see if it gives us some type of deep meaning. Nah. But we know that, you know, that light is ultimately going into these guys' you know, their mind frame, man. Their most inner thoughts, their true intentions, man. And guess what? It's all being exposed, and the Lord got us all out there to see. All right? And like I say, and they ain't got no excuse, because who's always getting on these camps? Who's always trying to correct them? Who's always trying to rebuke them and put them on the right path? It's the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone and the men under them. But guess what? These guys don't want to be, they don't want their, you know, they don't want to be corrected, man. They don't want to take the humble route. They don't want to say, damn, you know what? I am wrong. I was going off on that, man. Because a lot of these guys, like I said, they done wax and proud, man. They done let the whole so-called fame and the following and these simple-minded zombies constantly bigger them up and you know, praising them, go to their heads, man. To where they feel, can't nobody tell them nothing, man. Hey, but that's why these niggas are going to be destroyed. It's going to say that. And it says, and at that time, it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai will not do good, neither will he do evil. See, and that's how a lot of these guys feel, man. Like I said, that's why they're not operating and moving in the fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because if they truly were, all this bullshit that they're doing, they would not be doing it, man. They would check it, they would correct it, and they would nip it in the bud. You see, and this is why that guy Alazar never wanted to be in Great Millstone, and that's why he got kicked out, because he didn't want to be under the authority of men. He got daddy issues, he got authority issues. So what did he do? He went and go and started his own thing. And it's the same with Nate. You know, he's doing his own thing, man. He went and started his own thing, so now he can run it the way that he wants to run it, man. And this nigga is so proud, he won't even admit that Elder Apostle Tahar is over him in the spirit, man. That he learned from the Elder Apostle Tahar. You know, but what? He broke off so he can do his own thing, man. And a lot of these guys are following after the pattern, first and foremost, of the GOCC. Nate is following after that, not GOCC, what is that? The IGGCC, that black ass nigga, the Discomforter. A lot of these guys are all following after that same pattern in that 501c3 vibration, man. Turning this truth into ungodliness and gain, and basically goddamn a Christian church with an Israelite spin on it. And guess what? They're all going to be punished pretty soon. As the elders always say, the Lord's going to break up the IUIC, man. All right? Everywhere, every time you turn around, they're being exposed for some wickedness, man. All right? Like I said, their breakdowns are trash. They're literally twisting the scriptures and going off so that it fits their narrative, man. And when, like I said, when they get corrected, what happens? They just rebuke it. So eventually, hey, the Lord's going to have enough, and the Lord's going to what? He's going to punish them that are settled on their leaves, man. Right? Hey, and that can happen to any of us, But like I said, if you're truly in the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you're not going to be comfortable, man. Now is not the time to be sitting back with your feet up, kicked up, being lackadaisical, going through the motions. You see, but those guys are in that spirit because they sold out, man. Because ultimately, they got all this money and they don't want Babylon to be destroyed, man. That's why they ain't never going into the destruction. They ain't never going in on Esau being destroyed. They ain't going in on, hastening the return of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. These niggas is talking about building here, man. Obviously, you have plans to stay here and to flourish here, man. You ain't thinking about Yahweh Hashem Yahushua coming back and destroying this place, man. Hey, I wanted Yahweh to come back yesterday, 2 weeks ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, man. All right, but these niggas, like I said, hey, they want to be comfortable here, man. They want to dig their roots in deep and build societies here, buy some land. Same thing with Zabak and them. They was on that same shit. Oh, you need some money so we can buy some land and we can grow crops, because you niggas want to grow old here in Babylon, man. You niggas are comfortable here, and like it says here, a lot of these Israelite groups are settled on their leaves, man. This is why they don't go into the destruction. They don't go into the nuclear destruction of Babylon the Great. They're not ushering in this Third World War. Hurry up and telling Esau to stop dragging his feet and bringing the MOTB, man. Why? Because they're comfortable here. They got a lot of money to spend. They got a lot of goals. They got plans. They want to grow old here. They want to see little little Joseph and little Yawasop, their little children, grow up and become men and have families here in Babylon the Great. Well, we don't, man. All right, we want the kingdom and we want it ASAP, man. So let's get this word for leaves, man. And that's what that's why these guys are moving the way that they do. And this is why they got such a big following, because the majority of Jake, they're all worldly, man. They're comfortable here, which I don't see how. And they're comfortable in all this wickedness and all this bullshit, man. Because why? Because they found a lane in this truth to be successful. When I mean successful, I mean in a worldly sense. Not successful through the spirit, not successful in the way that the Most High want us to be successful while by growing in the spirit, getting deeper into the word, going into these scriptures and breaking them down the right way. Going out and preaching so that we can gather the elect. These niggas, this is why Nate and them trying to go 12 tribes worldwide. This is why they're in the spirit of we got to save all black people, because they want that all the time needed to so-called do all that, which they're not going to do any goddamn way. All right. So the word for leaves is samar. It says the settling only i.e. the settling of wine, the dregs. You see, it says to be settled on one's leaves, led a quiet and tranquil life. You see, and that's what these niggas. I guarantee you, Nate ain't struggling from month to month to pay his bills, and all the men that are under him, they ain't struggling to pay their bills. You see these buildings and all these buildings and these everywhere they're at, they got all this money. They flying overseas. They're having these palatial Passovers, man, because them niggas are living tranquil and peaceful lives. Because why? They're ringing in a lot of money off of the simplicity of their followers, man. Selling merchandise, selling breakdowns, selling camp starter kits, selling fringes. I'm pretty sure they're getting a lot of grant money from the government. You see? Because these niggas are settled here, man. It says they leading a quiet and tranquil life. You see? And that's what these guys are doing. This is why they're not in the right spirit, man. That's why a lot of their followers are not in the right spirit. That's why they're so quick to call us bums. You on your mama's dirty couch. But I guarantee you, that nigga is living in a very nice, big, comfortable house, man. Like I said, I guarantee you that nigga bills is paid every month. I guarantee you he got a whole lot of extra supplemental income coming in, man. I guarantee you, anytime, I guarantee you, if Nate or Johanna or Sakari or Alazar, if one of their cars break down, I guarantee you they ain't gonna be struggling and wondering how they ain't gonna struggle to get the money to get that motherfucker fixed, man. Because what? Either he got it in his bank account, or they'll grift their members into to give them the money to do it, man. And we saw it when Nate and them was doing that rap shit, and they was getting all these donations from their followers to buy up this land. 1,500, 200. You see? Because these guys are settled on their leads, man. They're living comfortable, tranquil lives here in this truth. Why? Because they corrupted and they manipulated the truth to be a huge hustle. And this is why what? The Lord is going to destroy these niggas, man. I'm going to get this. It says, wait. Yep, it says, yeah, therefore, where was I? So like back in Zephaniah 1:13, it says, therefore their goods shall become booty, and their houses a desolation. You see? All this money that they amass, all of this grifting, how they use this truth to be a money-making scheme. Hey, the Lord's going to take all that shit from these guys, man. Whether it be Esau coming in and getting these niggas for tax evasion or tax fraud, or whether just when this whole economy just collapses, all of that money, all of that wealth, all of that comfort, all of that, selling out that they did, it's all going to be worthless, man. All right? Because here it is. They're building up. Oh, let me get that real fast, man. They're building up all of this treasure here on earth. But guess what? When the time comes, when the Lord collapsed this place, and the money ain't no good no more, all right? And all that money in the bank don't matter, you know? Then what you gonna do? Because you ain't been storing up treasures up in heaven, but you've been storing it up in, in this wicked, vile system, man. And it's all gonna eventually come to nothing, man. All right? Matthew. I can't think of where I'm getting, man. All right. So hey, man. So like I said, this Zephaniah 1:13 is going to come to pass in a major way, man. All right, here we go. Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasure upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt. And that's what these guys are doing, man. That's what they're using this ministry for. Ultimately, to store up this treasure here upon earth, man. Like I said, you got Pegasaur on that video thinking he hot shit. You know what I mean? Talking about, yeah, I made 300,000. Look at this, 25,000, 10,000. You know, brother did the video. He over there, should we wear the Gucci? Should we wear this? You know, should I smell like Armani Code and all this bullshit? These jakes are storing up their treasures here in heaven, man. They're not storing up a treasure in heaven, man. Yeah, they go out on the highways and the byways. Yeah, they go out and speak. But it's really all to fulfill their own lust, man. To feed his alter ego and to line up their pockets and grift the congregation, man. Now, yeah, they might teach some things that are true, but ultimately in the spirit, they're completely fucking off, man. They're wicked, man. They're demonic. They're scammers, they're schemers, they're extortionists, man. All right? These niggas are murderers, man, at the end of the day, spiritually. And we all see it. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai see it, man. You see, that's why here at Elders and the Apostle Great Millstone, you see, hey, we're not trying to store up all this treasure here on earth. To be honest, I'm afraid to get a lot of money like that, man. I would be very nervous if all of a sudden, you know what I mean, all this money started coming in, and people, you know, we had the Cash App on our pages, and people just giving donations and money and money and money. That honestly would scare the hell out of me, man, because you just don't know what having all of that money and all of that fame and all of this praise of the world could do unto you, man. That could be your downfall, just like it's Alizar's downfall. And it's beautiful because the Lord gave him everything that he wanted, and look how he's looking, man. Look how it's playing out for him. You see? Shit, look at Nate. All that money he got. Look how proud it's made him. Look how all this fame and this following, look at what is done to his mind, man. These guys are literally not walking in the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. These niggas fear the people of this world more than they fear the Most High. They fear the perception of the world than how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai looks at it, man. So back in Matthew 6:19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. And I don't mean, you don't work, you don't pay your bills. If you can get a good job, of course you get a good job. If you can have a little extra, of course, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying thinking that you're going to have massive amounts of money, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars being in this truth, man. Hey, Yahweh Shai didn't show that example. Scriptures tell you that Yahweh Shai was rich, but he made himself poor, man. And he's the author and the finisher of our faith, man. But like I said, don't take it the wrong way. If you can better your situation by getting a better job, or if you got, some brothers make more money than other brothers. Some brothers probably got some money in their bank account, but that's not ultimately, while we're in this thing to become, worldly rich. We're here to become spiritually rich, man. It says, where moth and rust doth corrupt. See. And that's what's going to happen to all this money these guys got. It's all going to fail. It's all going to be corrupted, especially when this system fails, when the dollar goes to zero. All right. It says, and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there where your heart be also. And we see where these guys' heart and their mind is at, man. It's all in the world, man. It's all for this worldly and godly gain. And that's why, it's only going to be able to go so far before the Lord ultimately put the brakes on it. All right, back in Zephaniah 1:13, it says, therefore their goods shall become booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. You see? So basically, all this labor, all this worldly gain that they're getting, eventually is going to all be taken away. It's all going to come to nothing. It's not going to be able to deliver them or give them the pure satisfaction for the long run, man. Because it's all going to ultimately be dried up. The Lord is going to put a stop to it, man. But like I said, when you read that Matthew 6:19, but when you're storing up your treasures in heaven, guess what? Nobody can take that from you. Because why? It's stored up in the most impenetrable, secure place, which is with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. It says the great. That's all I wanted on that one. Yep. All right. So let me get the next precept I got. So hey, man. So like I said, the Lord is shining the light on a lot of these guys, man. And what you see, man, it's not looking good for a lot of these guys. All right. This is Amos chapter 6 verse 1. It says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the mountains of Samaria, which are named chiefs of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. All right. And that can be represented spiritually as Babylon the Great, man. You see? And this is where Jake is at ease here. Jake is in that Hakuna Matata spirit, man. They ain't got no worries, man. That's why you got these guys talking about, when I'm done prophesying, I got something to fall back on. I got something crazy in the garage, because ultimately these guys are not looking for the return of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. They're not looking to be delivered. They're not looking to looking towards the kingdom of heaven, man. Let me get that real fast, man. And Jake and a lot of these camps, they're not looking at Babylon as a temporary situation, man. Like I said, nigga Alazar said, we could be here for another 1,000 years. Nigga, are you out of your mind, man? Can you imagine what would happen if we was here for another 1,000 years? There would be no flesh left to be saved, man. We would all drop dead for some type of cancer, some type of situation, man. This nigga trying to merge man with machine. He trying to put microchips in you, Elon Musk brain chips, put you in 15-minute cities, feed you inorganic food, man. Oh, over there in London, they're talking about blocking out the sun. Do you know what that would do to your immune system and to your health if he literally blocked out the natural rays from the sun, man? You wouldn't be getting no vitamin D. These plants wouldn't be going through photosynthesis. These animals would literally die off because the energy from the sun and the life that it provides to the earth would be cut off, man. He's talking about cutting all the goddamn trees. He's talking about sucking all the CO2 out of the air with no flesh left to be saved. It was here for another 1,000 fucking years, man. But that shows you the mind frame that these guys are in, man. They ain't think. Look, they don't want to get out of here because why? These niggas, they basically, this is the kingdom for a lot of these guys. That's why they with all that money and this fame. That's why they got all these wives. These niggas is doing documentaries about themselves. They're doing all of the rapping and the singing. They got the garment division. You know what I mean? They're doing all the giveaways and the handouts. These niggas love it here in Babylon the Great, man. Because why? Because, like I said, they're settling on their leads. They're prospering here, man. They found a way to use this truth as a money-making hustle, man. With a Hebrew Israelite twist, man. You see? It says, let me get this real fast. See? Hey, we hate it here every day. We're vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. And ain't no amount of money that I could have would change that, man. This place is filthy, man. I used to kind of sound like the agent from the Matrix. When he was talking to Morpheus, he was like, this place is like a plague. He was like, he was going through that whole rant of how, he was just sick and tired, man. He wanted to get out of the Matrix. He wanted to get out of that place. And then we're in that same spirit, man. You gotta literally hate this place and hate your life here. Now, I don't mean, like I said, you just live a desolate, you don't wash your ass, you don't comb your hair, you don't comb your beard, you don't put on deodorant. You just come here and you just drink yourself into depression or nothing like that. But just being here, knowing this truth and knowing what, the Lord has, who the Lord has created us to be, that we're a royal and a holy people, and then the whole earth is supposed to be ours in possession. When you know these things, man, hey, anything less than that, it's bullshit, man. All right, and we're constantly praying to be perfected. We want out of this flesh. We want out of this age. We want out of this current situation, man. We want to be with our Lord, man. We want to be in the kingdom. We want those new bodies, man. Rulership, dominion, and righteousness, man. And all the beautiful perks that's going to come along with that, man. But what? These niggas, a lot of these niggas and these Israelite groups, they're having their heaven here on earth, man. Because what? These niggas making all that money. They getting all these women, these used up hoes. Like I said, they driving something crazy. So it's like, shit. So they in the spirit of shit. I ain't in no rush for Yahushua to come back. I'm having my cake and eating it here too. Yeah, you're gonna eat that cake all right, man. But this is let me see. This is 2 Corinthians 4:13. It says, "For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of the Most High." And this is a beautiful grace spirit that we have, man. But a lot of the guys are turning this grace into lasciviousness. A lot of these guys is using this grace period to be even worse niggas in this truth than they were in the world, man. Because when they were in the world, they didn't have the following and making the money and having the women and the love that they wanted in the world. But now they're in this truth. They're getting it, and they're turning this truth into lasciviousness, into something vain, using this truth to get pegged up the ass and all type of other bullshit, man. It's a goddamn shame. It says, "For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day." You see, it's the spirit that's keeping us going every day. Those of us who are sincere, we're catching our hell, man. Hey, dealing with bullshit each and every day, man. But it's through the spirit that we're able to keep going and we're staying on that right path, man. Hey, because, be real, if a lot of brothers in GMS got a lot of talent, man. And if they wanted to use this truth wickedly, hey, they could be multimillionaires too. They could have all of the acclaim and the fame and the praise of all the people in this world if they were doing this thing deceitfully, but it's not in their spirit to do that thing, man. They're going through that straight gate, and we're striving righteously, man. And we're not going to sell this truth out just for our own vain glory, man. To make ourselves be more than what we are, because we understand this truth is all about the praising and uplifting of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. But at the end of the day, hey, we're going to get our glory. Yahweh Shai's not going to leave us hanging, man. He's going to give us our heart's desire and new bodies and joint rulership with him in his kingdom, and preeminence and dominance and holiness and righteousness and the ability to be God's, man. And Yahweh Shai already has those things stored up for us. We already have those things waiting for us, but we just got to be patient and wait for those things, man. You can't be all gun-ho and faint and be like, oh, I waited long enough. I'm ready to shine. I want to be seen. Hey, yeah, you can be in that spirit, but you're going to be destroyed here, man. It says, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, you see? So we got something far better coming into this. And the prime example is, look at Shannon Sharp ass, man. Here it is, he's getting all of his worldly acclaim, he's getting everything that he wanted in this world, and look how it's turning out for that nigga, man. And that's the story of every Jake that comes into money and becomes something here in Babylon the Great, man. This is not our rest, man. This is not our kingdom. All right, and it's always going to turn to shit. It's going to be the same. Nate and these other Israelite leaders, it's going to be the same for them, but it's going to be in a more horrific and drastic matter because you know they're using Yahweh Shem Shai to achieve that, man. I said, look at Shannon Sharp's nigga was on top of the world now. You know, because of his him not having dick discipline and him, you know what I mean, being so immersed in this world, man, and him not being in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, everything that he worked for is about to turn to shit. Right before he fully about to get some 100 million, which he might still get it. You know, who knows? That could be a humiliation ritual. But at the point is, look at the bullshit they got to go through to get what they're getting here, man. It's all corruptible and it's all bullshit, man. All right? But like I said, hey, we're waiting for our reward to come in the kingdom, man. Where it's going to be undefiled, uncorrupted. It's going to be pure. It's going to be righteous. It's going to be for all eternity, man. Here's the point, verse 18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen, which is what? The kingdom of heaven, our rulership, new bodies, man, righteousness, all right? Authority over these heathens, man. You see? It says, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal, you see? And that's what we're waiting on, the things that's going to come that's eternal, man. We're not putting all of our hope and our faith here in this society, which we know is destined to be destroyed, man. Destined to be utterly burnt with fire. See? So it makes no sense, man. But hey, somebody got to fulfill the lot of these bug-out Israelite camps, man. Right back in Amos 6:1, it says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion and that trust in the mountains of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. It says, pass ye unto Calneh and see, and from thence go ye to Hamath the great, then go down to Gath of the Philistines. Be they better than these kingdoms, or their border greater than your border? Right, because it's showing you that all these other ancient civilizations, they all went out the same way. They all rose and they all fell, man. In America and Babylon ain't no different. This place is gonna fall just like it's getting ready to fall now. See, this is why we're waiting on our kingdom, which is going to be an everlasting kingdom, which ain't never going to fall, which ain't never going to be left to other people. Verse 3, it says, ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seed of violence to come near, that lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their couches and eat lambs out of the flock and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sound of the viol and invent to themselves instrument of music like David, right? These guys got music departments, you know, they're doing their little hip-hop bullshit on the Passover, making their rap videos, you know? It's because these guys are comfortable here, man. Which Yahweh Shai, when did you ever see Yahweh Shai and the 12 doing music, man? Getting up there spitting bars, man, on the Passover. You know, of course they sang hymns, but they wasn't up there rapping and, yo, my nigga, doing all this other bullshit that these niggas was doing, man. See, that further shows you what? That they're not in the right spirit, man. That they're comfortable here, all right? And what they say they do? They lay on beds of ivory, right? Like I said, these dudes laying. They got all that money. They buying these expensive homes. I guarantee you they ain't sleeping on a damn mattress from Walmart. They probably ain't got a sleep number bed, but you can adjust the bitch. And, you know, as soon as you press the thing, you just sink into the thing. You know, getting great night's sleep. You know, like a lot of guys like Nate, he don't be out on the highways and the byways when he's here in America. So I know he has his little Saturday show, but he ain't out there on the front lines. When's the last time you seen Johanna out there burning down 34th Street or burning down Harlem or going out on the highways and the byways and speaking week in and week out, man? But you see the elders and the apostles out there every week in the cold and the snow and the rain, you know, diligently, you know. And like they say, they out there on their mama's dirty couch. Yeah, I mean, shit. You know, we're living by our daily bread, man. We ain't got the big fancy couches and the big fancy studios and the 4K cameras and all this bullshit that you other guys boast about, man. But guess what? This word is still going out, all right? Day in and day out, starting Elders and the Apostles of Great Millstone, hey, the flock is getting fed. These shows are getting put up, whether it's in 4K, whether it's in just a regular phone camera, man. But guess what? The work is going out, man, and the men are being diligent. All right, and they understand that now ain't the time to rest, man. Hey, our rest is going to be allowed. We are going to have time in the kingdom, but right now it ain't that time, man. And there's so much going on day to day, man. You got to do videos, shows, because there's so much information going out. Prophecy is constantly being revealed, man. And it's our job and our duty to let me get that, man. To warn, you know. I'll hold on that. You know, we're out here blowing the trumpet, man, because there's a whole lot to blow the trumpet about. Mainly what we're blowing the trumpet about is the mark of the beast, the microsia, man, which Esau is literally putting that system out there, man. I did a video earlier this week where now, where was that at? It was over there in London? Yeah, over there in London now, everything is becoming digital, man. They're setting it up now to where if you want to go to the hospital, they're setting up in China, they're setting up that palm reading system over there in China for everything. Every part of industry in China is now, instead of you using your phone and those apps, now they're getting everybody's palm scan. So whether you got to go to the hospital, you gotta sign up for that system to where your palm can be read. Everything is going to be done effortlessly, all through palm reading. It's not going to be through them using the apps anymore. And what's that? One step closer to the MOTB. And guess what, Nate? It's not dealing with rich nations and poor nations. It's on an individual basis, man. Every citizen has to have that shit. If you want to go to the hospital, hey, you try to go in there and be like, oh, here's my ID. They're going to be like, no. If you try to scan the app, they're going to be like, no. They want your palm signature for you to have access to going into the hospital, going into the bank. That's becoming the new normal, man. Remember, China is the model, man. And like I said, certain places here in America, they're already doing that, man. Those Whole Food stores. Even when I go to Sam's Club, which I do it because it's convenient. Like now, when I go to Sam's Club, I don't have to. I don't wait in line anymore. I got the app, so whatever I pick, I just scan it on my phone. Boop, and it just tallies up. I go, get some ground turkey. I just scan it. I get some blueberries. I scan it. I get some oxtail. I just scan it. I get milk. I just scan it. And guess what? All I gotta do, you see everybody waiting in line and shit, paying. I just walk right out the damn store. I just hit pay. It's linked to my debit card. I hit pay. A QR code pops up, and I just go to the lady. She just scans 5 things out of my cart, and I just walk right out of the store, man. Because you can see where this thing is headed, man. Like I said, when they crash this economy and when they bring in these cyber attacks and turn out the lights, when they turn everything back on, that's going to be the system in play, man. This beast system, this all digital system, man. And eventually, if you're not up to date and you're not linking yourself with this system and all your biometrics, et cetera, you're not going to be able to function in this society, man. You will be obsolete if you're not upon the cloud, so to speak, man. It's gonna be like that for everything. You want to go into the grocery store, hey, you're gonna have to have your shit set up, man. And then we know eventually it's gonna go from them reading your palm to them putting all that information into your micro C here, man. Point blank, period, man. All right. And these these Israelite groups, they ain't out here preparing you guys for that, man. But they got you in this happy spirit, this happy go lucky, everything gonna be all right spirit, man. And ultimately, y'all ain't growing in the spirit, man. Right? You're not mortifying your members. You're not putting on as the elect. You just still a worldly nigga that just know that he's an Israelite. But you haven't really changed. You're not really growing in the spirit, man. Why do you guys think it's just about putting on fringes and women wearing head wraps and you don't eat pork and that's about as deep as it really goes, man? All right? But it goes a lot deeper than that, man. You got to be in the right spirit, man. You got to be offering up the right sacrifices. You got to be walking through that straight gate. You got to be on your P's and Q's, man. You got to be crossing your T's and dotting your lowercase J's, man. And that's what you see a lot of these guys that are in this truth are not ultimately doing, man. They're not growing in the spirit, man. These are just a lot of guys and women that know that they're Israelites. Now, I'm not speaking about the sincere sisters and the sincere Akim that are probably still learning and coming up to this thing, but I'm talking about a lot of these mainstream, well-known Israelite groups and their followers, man. They're not being fed in the spirit the right way. And they're all carnal. They're carnal. They're worldly. You know what I mean? They're nothing more but niggas that know that they're Israelites, man. Because when you look at them, what, they got all the aesthetics of a nigga in the world. Only thing that's different is he's wearing fringes. He got the lineups. He got the dreads flowing down his back. You know, they talk like people in the world. They dress like niggas in the world. They move and operate like people in the world, man. Right? So there ain't really no spiritual growth taking place upon these guys, man. All right? Get this. I want to eat this in the NLT. Yeah, let me read it in the NLT. Yeah, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 12. I'll read it in the NLT. Yeah, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 12. It says, the night is almost gone. The day of salvation will soon be here, you see? And that's the spirit you got to be in, man. Understand that, look, our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. And if you're really in that spirit, you ain't going to be out here making 10-year plans, talking about building and buying land and building houses. You know how long that shit take? You know, to buy the land, to get the land ready to, you know, build the foundations and grow crops and all that shit. Niggas, you ain't got time for that here in Babylon the Great. And even if you did, let's say hypothetically one of these Israelite groups did do that and buy land and build here in Babylon the Great, Esau would burn that shit to the ground, man. He would totally sabotage that whole operation, man. Here it is, you be growing crops, y'all sleep at night, next thing you know, somebody will come through and poison the whole goddamn crop, man. Release a bunch of caterpillars or locusts onto your shit and allow it to be eaten up. Or shit, the Most High might allow locusts to come and eat that shit up because this is not our rest, man. Right? We're not gonna grow old in this place. Let me see if I can find that real fast, man. Or they'll try to use certain scriptures to be like, oh yeah, you know, the Lord told us to go to Babylon and plant, have children, and do all those things, man. That was talking about the ancient Babylon, man, the Neo-Babylonian. But here in this Babylon the Great, this place is, the Lord didn't tell us to come here and to do that. He said this is not our rest. It will destroy you even with a sword destruction. And here it is, you want to grow your own crops and shit like that. Everything here is polluted, man. Everything here is tainted, all right? Let's see something. You know what? No, I ain't. Let me stay here in Romans 13. This is Romans 13 and 12. In the NLT, it says, the night is almost gone. The day of salvation will soon be here. So remove your dark deeds like dirty clothes and put on the shining armor of right living. See? Now these guys will tell you, oh, the law, statutes, and commandments, but these niggas be breaking all the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You know? These guys ain't right, man. They ain't keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You know? These guys break more. It's the ones that wear the fringes that's always talking about it's the laws that are the biggest breaker of the laws, man. These guys are demons, man. But like I said, like the Lord told the disciples, all things that they say, do. Let me get that real fast. Lord willing, I can get that. Slacking. Bear with me a second. Here we go. This is Matthew 23:2. It says, I start at 1. Matthew 23:1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. So these guys will tell you, oh, it's all about the laws, the statutes, and commandments, which, yeah, we got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. But here at Great Millstone, we teach you we're not going to be saved by keeping all these laws, man. Because why? If you offend in one point, then you're guilty of them all, man. This is why we need the grace and the blood of Yahushua, man. We keep these things to the best of our abilities. But these guys constantly harp, you're only going to get in the kingdom by keeping these commandments. But these niggas are the biggest breakers of the commandments, man. All right? They're slanderers. They're extortioners. All right? They're murderers, man. You know? They bear false witness. They slander. They lie. They do all types of stuff that's against the commandments of the Most High, man. But like I said, they appear to be righteous. They appear as if they do those things, but we know that they don't, man. It says, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men, like that guy Alazar. This nigga literally said, I keep all the commandments perfectly. But this nigga's over here getting rammed up his backside, man. He's over there pimping out his woman to an Edomite, man. But he's supposed to be the high Levite priest. But he's doing all this fucking wickedness, man. And it's not just him. He's just the flavor of the month. All these other guys are guilty of bullshit like that, man. All right? It says, but they make, it says, but all their works they do to be seen of men. Where your fringes at, but here it is. These niggas are sending rod pictures to other men in the congregation with their fringes on. Nigga literally moved the fringes to the side and took a rod picture to another man's woman in the congregation to commit adultery, man. It says they make broad their phylacteries, and they don't even have phylacteries, but they tell you where your fringes at, You ain't gonna make it to heaven. When your Yahushua comes back, you ain't got your fringes on, he gonna destroy you. Goddamn shame, man. It says, and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feast, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the marketplace. And greeting in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. You see? And that's what these guys are guilty of, man. These guys are a bunch of damn demons, man. And they ain't right in the spirit. You see? What was that? So you got to be watchful of these guys, man. Oh, yeah. Oh. I was reading it in the NLT. Let's go back to Romans, man. All right, back in Romans 13 and 12 and 13, it says, so remove your dark deeds like dirty clothes and put on the shining armor of right living. Because we belong to the day, we must live decent lives for all to see. Don't participate in the darkness of wild parties and drunkenness, or in sexual promiscuity and immoral living, or in quarreling or jealousy. You see? And these are a lot of things that a lot of these Israelites don't put off when they really come into this truth, man. You know, like I said, on the out, when you watch them, it seems like that's what they're all about, man. But when you really scrutinize them, when you really watch them, man, hey, a lot of these guys are still involved in these things on a daily basis, man. Some of these guys, you can't keep them out the damn club. You can't keep them from partying and doing all type of other bullshit, man. You know, chambering and wantoness, being undisciplined. A lot of these women are undisciplined. You see that. You see a lot of these women now are bucking up against this truth and against the camps, because there was probably with some guy in the truth that did them dirty, or he probably had another woman and she got disgruntled and left, and now she want to blame the truth for the problems of the problems for her whole life, man. And now she just want to go back to being a Christian and being goddamn disobedient, man. Because that's really what's in the heart of a lot of these jakes, man. Yeah, they love to hear the fact that they're Israelites, but their heart is still disobedient, man. They still want to be in the world. They still want to be 304s. They still want to be clapping their ass and going from men to men. You know, it's the same for a lot of these men. A lot of these dudes in Israel be getting three wives, can't even be in a relationship with one goddamn woman, but he want to be in a relationship with 3 and 4, and totally just ruining that woman's life, holding her hostage. You know what I mean? Beating her over the head with the scriptures continuously. You know, probably making their lives a living hell, man. But at the same time, his life is all completely out of order, man. It says, but put ye on the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, and make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill their lust thereof. You see, we got to put on Yahushua, which he was the perfect example, man. That's why you think when Yahushua came this time, he didn't have a wife, right? He made himself poor. He didn't have all the riches and the wealth. He didn't put himself in the position to where, he could be, kind of how he was as Solomon, to be in this, because he came straight for a mission, man, to be obedient to the will of Yahweh Yahushua. When he came this time as Yahushua, he didn't come to be a king and to be crowned and to be sitting upon high, even though, that he was rich, he became poor, but he is the example. He's the blueprint, man. And a lot of guys don't even want to follow that, man. A lot of these guys don't walk around with the mind frame of when they're doing particular things. Would Yahushua do that, man? Is that something that that Yahushua exhibited while he was on the earth? That don't even come into Jake's thought process, man. Because why? These Jakes move fleshly, worldly, Let me see something. This is Romans 8:12. It says, therefore, brethren, we are not debtors. I said, therefore, brethren, we are debtors, not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. You see? And that's what a lot of Jake is doing. Like I said, they know that they're Israelites, but they're still living after the flesh, man. They're still carnal. They're still caught up in the world. They still take pleasure in the things that niggas in the world take pleasure in. They haven't really fully separated their mind and their spirit out of Babylon the Great, man. Now, I don't mean, you can't have a good time. Brothers might, go have a drink or something or whatever, but they're not fully, totally just living in the flesh, man. Partying every weekend, just out and about in this world, mingling with all these worldly people, man. For the most part, hey, we go to work, go to the gym. I'm pretty sure brothers congregate, hang out, probably have a drink or two, and then go home for the most part, man. Go home to your family, to your wife, to your children. If you live by yourself, you at the crib for the most part, watching these videos, being edified, doing your videos. We go out. You be out and about amongst these people, but really, if you're in the right spirit, you don't even like being around these people, man. You find yourself being misanthropic 99% of the time, man. Because what? You were constantly vexed with the filthy conversation and just looking at these people for the most part. Because we can see, you feel in the spirit, these people are demons, man. It says, but if ye through the spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. You see? That's what this is all about, mortifying the deeds of this body, man. And understanding that it's a constant battle between the spirit and the flesh, man. And if you're constantly living after the flesh, you're going to be eventually overtaken by the flesh, man. You're going to find yourself, not studying as much, not watching the videos, not doing your lessons, but you're going to find yourself being distracted with more worldly shit, man. How you can get the bag, how you can get more women, how you can, whatever the case might be. But it's not going to be totally, totally in the spirit of doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. So it says, what was it? All right. And then I had, look at another one. So now it's definitely not the time to be caught all up in the flesh, man. It's definitely seeing, the spirit that Babylon the Great is, seeing this place getting ready to fall, man. Seeing that World War III is on the brink. Now they're talking about in the next couple of weeks, this whole tariff shit is about to be empty shelves. A lot of these stores are not about to receive a lot of the imports from China. So you're about to start seeing more of these shelves be barren and empty. They're talking about that happening. Things getting more expensive. Over 6 million people aren't even up to date on their mortgages. More people are getting evicted out of their houses. More people are getting heavily into credit card debt. Over 60% of the American people are on 1 to 4 prescription drugs out here, man. See, this place is completely unwinding. It's completely destroyed, man. So what type of pleasure and what type of fleshly enjoyment can you really have in this place, man? It ain't none, man. You got Jake killing their parents because Jake murdered his father because he didn't want to wash the dishes, man. You know, hey, the love of many is waxing cold in this place, man. Everywhere you go, just anything can happen. All these people are unhinged. At any moment, they can just fucking lose it, man. These people are just one horn honk away from them trying to ram you with their car, man, because they've been having a shitty day. Or their wife just left. Oh, I saw another video on World Star. This is young Jake. Show you this place is wicked as all hell, and Jake is 2/3 need to go. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, hey, it's the jealousy is the rage of a man. But ultimately, I guess the dude was saying he was at work, and he came home talking to my wife, talking about, yeah, I love you, baby, I love you, baby. He said he came home to her blowing some other man's rod in his apartment. And so he said the dude ran out the apartment. He ran and got his gun, and he blew her brains out, man. He popped this woman. And while she was lying there dead on the floor, this nigga went live and showed the bitch and was like, yeah, stupid bitch, was playing this rap music while he was on live saying, yeah, I killed her, whatever, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to jail. They're going to come and get me right now. So this place is just, hey, man, I don't see how you can have any type of enjoyment here in this society like that. Now, of course, we got pockets of moments where, you know, when you're around brothers or you might be around your family, you have some times that are enjoyable. But for the most part, hey, man, it's more vexing than it is, you know, happy times in this place, man. Because why? Hey, man, this place is wearing out the saints, man. Hey, and we're ready, you know what I mean, for Yahawashi to come back here, man. We're tired of this fucking place. Tired of looking at degenerate ass Jakes and these demonic ass people out here, man. See? So where was it? So, you know, hey, now even more it's more time to be walking in more spiritually, man. You know, being circumspect, keeping your eyes open everywhere you go, man. Don't be, you know, walking around in the store or wherever you at, just not paying attention or constantly on your phone or constantly in la la land, man. Hey, when you go somewhere, man, be objective. When you go into the store, hey, know what you want, what you need, get in and get the hell out of there, man. Don't be just lingering around, walking around, you know what I mean, aimlessly. You know, if you got to go to the store, to the mall, or whatever, you need something, go in there, get it, and get the hell out, man. And ultimately, pray before as soon as you leave the house, pray. When you get in the car, pray. When you get to your destination, pray, man. Hey, because why? We're living in evil times, man. You know, it's very evil out here, man. And like I said, a lot of these people out here are full of that spider piss. Like I said, a lot of these Americans are on these prescription drugs, man. A lot of these people are saturated with demons, man. And at any time, anything can set one of these demonic entities off, man. So we want to make sure that we got that hedge of protection from Yahweh Shem Yahawashi at all times, man. All right, this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. Yep, this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. 13. It says, "For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh." You see, so don't use this grace period as a reason to be out here just doing and saying and acting and moving however the fuck you want to act, man. You got to use this grace period righteously and honestly, man. You know, don't use this grace period to stack up more and more debt upon yourself, man. All right? It says, only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. It says, for all the laws fulfilled in one word, even this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed of one another. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. You see, so you got to be in the spirit at all times, man. Because what? It's a constant battle out here. It's a spiritual war going on, man, between your flesh and the spirit, man. And the flesh wants to be comfortable. The flesh wants to do things that you know you shouldn't be doing, man. All right, hey, because the flesh don't know the difference between good and bad, but your spirit, you know, your mind, you should know what's good and bad. You know, hey, because once your rod get you know, it don't concern whether that woman is married or not. It just want to plow, man. It just want to put in work. That's why you got to be in the spirit, man, so you don't be overcome by the flesh. And that's with all situations. I'm just using that as an example, man. All right. It says, for the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. See? So like I said, it's a constant battle out here, man. It's seducing spirits, you know. A lot of these women be trying to holler at you and trying to get up with you. Hey, man. And hey, at the end of the day, man, hey, be wise and be circumspect, man. Now ain't the time to be trying to multiply all these women and being in that spirit of, you know, pounding out all these women, man. A lot of these hoes got diseases, man. A lot of these hoes got some creepy crawlers in they snatch, man. And they ain't gonna come out and tell you that. Or that damn woman could be a damn tranny out here, man. You know? Or ultimately, hey, a lot of these women are coming up just to be a distraction. A lot of them are being brought to you as tests, man. You know, they had this one demon told me out of nowhere, you know, he's just talking about, you know, I ain't tripping on being I ain't tripping on if a man got a husband. I ain't tripping on being the side piece. I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, well, hey, that works for some, but that works for others, you know. You know, now in the flesh, you like, shit, that's just what I need. Shit, hey, she ain't, you know, but hey, man, a lot of the times, a lot of that shit is just a test, because you don't know what type of drama and what type of trauma that woman has been through, man. Here it is, she's talking about she ain't tripping on if you got a wife, she don't mind being a side piece, and that whole shit can totally destroy your whole life, man, for that little 20 minutes of pleasure. You know, a lot of times, hey, man, just, hey, it ain't even worth it, man. Just move in the spirit. Understand we got work to do, man. Hey, and at the end of the day, the Lord's going to give us those things, man. And the time is going to come here in Babylon when Isaiah 4:1 is going to come to pass, man. But just, you know, be patient, man. Hey, the Lord's going to put everything back in its rightful order, man. You know, but in the meantime, hey, just focus on doing this work. Focus on, doing what we got to do, you know. It says, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, and heresies. And we see these things at an all-time high, man, especially amongst these Jake. And it seems like right now that we're getting closer to the end, all these things are at an all-time high, especially amongst these Israelites out here, man. It seems like Jake is getting more and more wicked as the days go by, man. You know, it's crazy, man. But you know, that's the Lord turning it up. Because that's for us to be more on point, for us to make sure that we're constantly walking in the Spirit, man. Making sure that we're not getting lured in by a lot of these things. You see? It says, envying, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in times past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And you got a lot of these Israelites out here caught up in these works of the flesh, man. And like I said, and it's being made manifest. The Lord is exposing it. I mean, look at Eleazar, man. You can't tell me the Lord ain't shining the light on that guy. He's walking in a whole lot of these deeds of the flesh, man. Which he was never a spiritual guy anyway. He was always a carnal individual, you know. But now, hey, the Lord is putting it all out there, man. And like I said, a lot of these other guys he's going to be exposed to. A lot of these other Israelite leaders. We saw the shit with General Yohanan, how allegedly he got caught up in, you know, that particular situation. You know. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. You see? So that's the type of, you know, the things, you know, the fruits of the Spirit we need to be attaining and moving in, man. You know, long-suffering, man. Being patient. You know, being balanced in this thing, man. Not being too high, not being too low. You know, not getting caught up with the affairs of this life. Not thinking that you're missing something because you're not out there in the world, man. because it ain't nothing out there in the world. Now, it sounds cool. It might sound enticing, but this place has been played out all the way back since 2004, 2005. That's when shit was really popping for me, personally. But, 2008, 2009? Shit. That's when it was popping for me, being in the truth. But now, you know, we're older in this thing. Hey, this place is through, man. Look, the club scene is dead. You know what I mean? Niggas ain't going out to the parties. These strippers are getting evicted. Ain't nobody going to the strip club type of shit. It ain't nothing out here for men of Yahweh Shem Shah, but this truth and this ministry, man. All right, and we gotta take comfort within these scriptures, within this truth, and comfort in knowing that Yahweh Shai, when he comes back, is gonna make all things good, man. There ain't nothing out here in this world that should cause you to leave this truth, Lord willing, you know. But if you're part of the elect, hey, the Lord's gonna make a way, man. He's gonna keep you in this thing. He's gonna keep that spirit animated within you to maintain, man. All right, we gotta pray that the Lord keep us in that spirit every day. Because like I said, it's getting more and more wicked out here. It's going to be more enticing and more seductive demons coming at you. You know, whatever it may be, you know, for each individual brother, whatever that thing is inside of you that, you know, whatever your weakness might be, those things are going to be turned up more. It's going to start being more enticing for you to, you know, Satan's going to be trying to shift you and get you to go off, man. And you got to, you know, be in the spirit, be mindful, man, be diligent, you know. And keep our nose clean, man. All right? Oh, here we go. This is Ephesians chapter 4. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. It didn't say he gave some internet influencers or celebrity prophets, you know, or, you know, he gave, you know, like I said, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, man. And that's what this truth is really ultimately all about, man. Is preaching this truth and gathering up the elect, man, and sealing them with this word of salvation and giving the praise and the glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This was not about uplifting ourselves and becoming celebrities and gaining all of this following and being, you know, multi-millionaires, man. It was about perfecting the saints, gathering the elect and giving them, sealing them up with this word so we can be delivered and receive salvation, man. The truth is not about gimmicks and all of this superfluity that you see a lot of these other Israelite groups portraying this truth as that, you know. It's all about the simplicity of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Coming out here and edifying, man, building our people up, going through these precepts, going through these scriptures, man. It says, till we all come, let me read that part again. It says, for the perfecting, let's look at that word perfecting, of the saints. Where am I? Ephesians 4. Let's look at this word for perfecting. And the word perfecting is katartismos. It says complete furnishing, equipping what? Us with this truth. To understand all these scriptures, man. To understand the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is what this is really all about, man. Equipping the elect with the full furnishing of this truth and prophecy through the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. This is not about using this truth to become celebrities, man, or become multi-millionaires, or becoming YouTube celebrities, or having these alter egos and cult of personalities, man, and being the goddamn gorilla, or being 12 tribes worldwide, being some goddamn YouTube influencer celebrity type, man. And you got guys on their profiles telling you that I'm a YouTube influencer. And all this other bullshit. That ain't what the Lord called us in this truth to do. He called us to equip and to furnish the saints with the 100% truth of this word, man. All right? It says perfecting, furnishing, perfecting. All right? Ooh, you go to the root word is katartizo, katartizo. It says to complete, to fit out, equip, put in order, arrange, adjust, ethically, to strengthen, perfect, complete, make one what he ought to be, man. You see? That's what the elders and the apostles and the prophets were set up for, man. To fully strengthen, perfect, and to make one what he ought to be, which is what? The elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Not no goddamn entertainer or no celebrity or no goddamn influencer, man. You see? And the Lord has those men out here on the highways and the byways and out here in this world doing that, man. And that's what this thing is all about. And once you lose sight of that, man, hey, you might not never come back, man. Right? It says, till we all come in the unity of the faith, who was the elect, man. And that's gonna happen, because that's why the Lord has an elect and the predestinated ones, man. And they were slated to hear this truth and to be furnished and completed so they can be what they were created to be, which is the elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It says, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, man. You see, that's what this thing is really all about. Now, of course, we're not going to be perfect in the flesh, but in the spirit, the elect are perfect, man. They're going to be found without guile. They're going to be found. Let's see if I can find that, man. They're going to be found without guile, whole and complete before Yahweh Shai when He comes and delivers them. It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. And that's what you got with a lot of these other Israelite groups, man. They're intentionally deceiving with what? Doctrines, man. False doctrines, bugged out doctrines, you know? Doctrines that they teach so that they could constantly justify their bullshit. Justify the reason why they're doing the things that they're doing that are outside of the truth, man. You see, but you're gonna have many that's gonna be led astray into that, man. It says, but speaking the truth in love, you see, may grow up into Him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach, for whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love, which is ultimately the gathering of the elect, man. Because the elect, we're all going to be under the same judgment, under the same spirit. We're going to have 100% truth. You see? There's nothing in it that's going to be defiled or broken or maimed, man. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be complete, man. You see? And it's, you know, and that's what this thing is really all about. What was it? Oh, yeah. I got a few more, one more precept, and I'm going to close it out, man. Oh. See that? Satan, man. This is Colossians 3:1. It says, if you then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. You see? So our affection should be on things above, which is what? The kingdom, man. Salvation. Getting the hell up out of this captivity. You see? It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Because I read that earlier. This things on this earth is all temporary, man. This is not the kingdom of heaven. This is not our rest, man. We were brought here to serve captivity, right? So we got to be searching for the things that accompany salvation. We got to be looking towards the kingdom, looking towards getting the hell up out of here, man. You know, waiting for our world to come, right? Not on the affections and in the worldliness of this society, man, because it's all shit, it's all bullshit, it's all defiled, it's all corrupted, it's all to obtain a corruptible crown. We're looking to obtain an incorruptible crown, man. All right, and we're looking to be delivered out of this situation, man. Got your mind. That's why I said these other Israelite groups, they're not setting their affection on things on high. They're setting their affections on things on the earth. This is why they're talking about building and buying land and building houses and growing crops and buying private jets and shit, man. All right? This is why they're doing gathering all this money and getting all these donations, because they want to have the time to spend that money, man. Like I said, they ain't looking they're not hastening the return of Yahweh Shem Shai. They're not looking to get the hell up out of this situation. All right? They love it here. And guess what? They're going to fucking die here, man. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with the Mashiach in the Most High, man. You see, we are dead here, man. Meaning our aspirations and our motives are dead to this world, man. We're looking past Babylon the Great. We're looking past America, man. We're just doing what we got to do here in the meantime to sustain ourselves until Yahweh Shai comes back, man. And we can be taken and changed and be, you know what I mean, in the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, we're dead to this world, man. Of course, we live in this world, but hey, we're dead to it, man. All right? And we can't wait for this place to finally be destroyed, man. We can't wait to be delivered out of this captivity. It says, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High. And when Hamashiach, who was our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. But a lot of guys want their glory here on this side, man. They want their glory here in this fucked up world, man. It ain't no glory here. All right? This is the place where much glory don't abide, man. This is hell. This is not living. This is not life, man. Like I said, hey, each and every day we're here in Babylon the Great, we're dying just a little bit each and every day, from the chemtrails, from the food, from the water, from the poison, you know? Your spirit is being constantly drained from all of the wickedness and the filthiness of the society. This devil is constantly putting up enchantments and spells, you know what I mean? He's doing praying to the Most High that he continues to destroy us, man. This is not life. This is not living, man. This is hell here, you know? But who is our life? Yahushua. That's why we're so hastening to wait for him to come back, so that we can have life more abundantly, so we can be changed, man. All right, you don't want that, man. You want to continue to rot and to rot here in this society each and every day, man. You know, where you can't even be a man here in this society, man. You got to sneak around and do little things here and there. All right, you got to renew your goddamn registration every year. Renew your license every 5, 10 years, whatever the fuck it is. Be subject to payments, taxes. You know what I mean? Now Trump is talking about if you got student loans, they're about to start taking your tax returns. They're about to start garnishing your wages and shit. Like I said, the cost of living is through the roof. This is not living, man. This is pure fucking hell, man. Ever since the day we set foot on the shores of Babylon, the great America, it's been nothing but hell, man. But niggas is comfortable here. It's a goddamn shame. Well, that shows you that, hey, Yahushua is not your life. Because if Yahushua was your life, you'll be yearning and pleading and waiting for him to come back and to get us out of this situation, man. So we can forever be with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. I don't want to fucking be here. I don't want my son to grow up another year in this fucking society, man. Kids go to school, you don't know what the hell they being taught behind your back, man. You know? Goddamn teacher could be a full-blown goddamn pedophile when he's outside of the school, man. But your son is sitting there every day in his classroom. He pat him on the head and shit. He's sitting this close talking to him. Come on, man. Your fucking daughters is being influenced to be nothing but sluts and whores and 304s in this society, man. With the baby hair hanging down and shit. Come on, man. This is not life, man. This is pure hell, man. That's why it says, when Hamashiach, who was our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. It says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection. You hear that, Alazar? All right? Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. And that's the hub of black culture here in this society, man. See? These are the things that we got to put off. You know, these are the things that you got to stay as far away from as possible, because that's at the core of this society, man. This is how the average Negro, Latino, and Native Americans operate in this society, man, because their members haven't been mortified. They haven't been killed off the ways of the flesh, man, living after the ways of the Gentiles, man, having that black nigga mind, man, that black nigga mind, you know? It says, for which things the sake, the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience. And, and we can't wait for it to come. It's beyond needed, man. See? It says, in the which ye also walk sometimes when ye lived in them. You see? And we used to walk in those ways. That's why we can recognize it when we see it, man. Before we came into the truth, we was vile, low-life black niggas, man. And that goes for all the tribes, man. That's why when we see it, man, we try to get the hell away from it. We can see it a mile away because we used to be in that vibration. Now we're in Yahweh Shem Shai. We're operating on a whole nother frequency, man. And vice versa. When these 2/3 in the world see us, our spirit vexes them and rubs them the wrong way, man. When these dudes watch these videos, that's why they constantly talking shit, scoffing against the prophets, scoffing against the camps, scoffing against the men of the Lord. And this is why eventually they're about to blame the men of the Lord for all the hell and all the problems that's about to come during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. But it's all good though. We got the ultimate judge of Yahweh Shem Shai on our side, man. It says, but now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, you see? And that's how we're supposed to operate, man. Not in that old man, but operating under that new man, which is created in Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Walking in truth, righteousness, you know what I mean? No guile, not lying, not twisting the scriptures to justify whatever wickedness we're trying to do. You know, we put off those things, man. And now we're living as these new creatures, man. And like I said, and it sucks because it don't suck, but hey, when you do that in this world, you're going to be a target, man. You're going to be looked at weird. Satan is going to be constantly coming at you in all type of different ways, man. You know, but it is what it is, you know. It says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. You see, that's what this truth is supposed to do. This is what this knowledge is supposed to do. This is what coming into this cult of Yahweh Shem Shai is supposed to do. It's supposed to cultivate you. It's supposed to change you, man. How you think, how you eat, you know, how you maneuver in this world, how you deal with people, you know, how you deal with, how you operate and deal in this world. It's supposed to change you for the better, man. It's not supposed to be a burden. It's not supposed to bring you, be a burden into your life, man. But it's supposed to upgrade you, enlighten you, illuminate you, man. You see, and that's a beautiful thing. Hey, and the Lord didn't have to. He didn't have to do that. Lord could have left us being niggas and 2/3 here in this world, man. But now that He given it to us, hey, it's a beautiful gift, man. That not every Israelite is going to be able to have on this side, man. So don't take it for granted, man. Don't look at it as just some lowly thing just because the people of the world don't acknowledge it and don't big it up, man. Hey, in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai, man, we're being bigged up. We're being loved. We're being recognized, man. You're not going to be recognized in this world when you're walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, especially in this filthy, wicked-ass place. But it is what it is, man. I'd rather be on this side than that side, you know? Let me jump down to 12. It says, therefore, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved. See, we are beloved, man, of Yahweh Shem Shai, and that's all that matters. So we got to reciprocate that by making sure that we're moving and doing the things that are right and acceptable on His side, man. Stop worrying about the opinions and giving a damn about the opinions of these people of this world, man. They ain't shit. Their opinion don't matter, man. You know? And then their opinions don't mean shit in the sight of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. And if you get caught up in that type of spirit and worry about what the world thinks of you, guess what? You're going to be destroyed here, man. All right? You're going to be looking to please men instead of Yahweh Shem Shai. And that will allow you to what? To twist the doctrine, to make it more PC, to make it more world-friendly, you know? That's why you see Jakes out here, you know, got all this hatred. The Hebrew Israelites, you got all this hatred in your heart. You hate the white man. You hate the other nations. But all you really care about is pleasing the goddamn white man. You niggas don't give a damn that we hate Moab and Ammon and these other heathen nations. You mad at the fact that we say that Esau, Edom, that we hate the damn white man. And we say we hate him, that don't mean we're going to act violently or anything like that. We hate him because he's the wicked. We know who he is. We know how he operates. We know what he's all about, man. We hate everything about him. But that don't mean we're going to physically go and attack the damn man. Hey, scriptures say, if it be all possible, be peaceable with all men. But we we hate him for who he is and what he is about and what he was created to be, man. All right? So, is that it? Oh, yeah, let me get this last one, and then I'll close it. Yep, this is 2 John chapter 2, verse 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. See? So the hell with this world, man. You know? The hell with the opinion of the people of this world. All right? It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, man. That's what this place is all about. The pride of these people, man. And you can see it, it's at an all-time high. You can't tell these people shit, man. You know? But it's all good, though. Hey, their destiny with destruction is drawing nigh. It says, and the world passeth away, you see? That's why I read earlier. This shit is all temporary, man. All this bullshit. And it's all going to pass away in a million degree heat from those nuclear missiles, man. And the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. So like I said, the hell with the opinion of the people of this world. Their opinion don't fucking matter, man. Because they're going to pass away. Hey, the lust of this world is going to pass away. The fashion of this world is going to pass away. But what he that doeth the will of the Lord is going to abide forever, which is the elect, man. This is why we got to continuously put on as the elect, man. Put on Yahweh Shai at all times, man. Walk in the spirit, man. You know, keep serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, because that's what's going to abide, man. Everything else outside of that has a date with destiny of destruction, man. It says, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. See? And that's what we got to continue to do, all right? So I'm going to close it there. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, brothers that tuned in was fed. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren pushing this word on sincerity and truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, I'll be out here next week. Shalom.